Hello, welcome to the Aginity Pro April-May 2021 update demo. I'm Chris Crompton, Senior Product Marketing Manager here at Aginity. This short video will show off some updates included in version 35, which is now available on both macOS and Windows. In addition to extending our data insert wizard capabilities to another database platform, we've added some updates related to database connections. This includes support for a legacy version of Microsoft SQL Server, 3 new authentication types for Amazon Redshift, and some helpful UI improvements to the connection screen. So let's take a look at the database connection screen. The first update, though minor, let me add one here, takes a lot of stress out of setting up a new connection. Analysts oftentimes have limited database connection info on hand. Maybe you just have the host name and the username and password. You go to create a new connection and you're presented with all of these fields. I mean, it's a small thing, but we've added these required labels on the fields that are needed. So depending on the database connection, different fields are required, and this makes you know what you need to fill out and what you can accept the defaults on and what you can leave blank if you just don't have the information at hand. Because we want you to be able to create a new connection and get querying as soon as possible. While we're on the connection screen, let's talk about security. We've added 3 new authentication types for Amazon Redshift. A lot of enterprises, maybe yours is one of them, employ database authentication which goes beyond just requiring a standard username and password. Perhaps you utilize a single sign-on provider and or multi-factor authentication. When that's the case, it becomes irrelevant whether or not Aginity officially supports a given database if we don't also honor the security requirements defined by your organization. That's why we're always listening to our users and are proud to lead the pack in authentication options. And in this latest release, we've added support for 3 additional types of authentication for connecting to Amazon Redshift, and this includes Okta MFA, Microsoft Azure Active Directory MFA, multi-factor authentication, that is, and PingFederate multi-factor authentication. And there you go, look at all these. So if you need to connect to Redshift, we got you covered. All right, let's talk about Microsoft SQL Server now, which is really one of the most popular database engines around. We've previously supported the 2 most recent versions, SQL Server 2017 and 2019, but we've heard from a number of users who still need to connect to an older legacy version. If that's you, get ready to connect because we listened and we've expanded our SQL Server integration to also include support for Microsoft SQL Server 2016. So if you just add that as a connection, it'll just work if you're on 2016, 2017, or the latest 2019. Okay, now back to this connection screen. In addition to field requirements spelled out in the labels, we've added one more small tweak to our interface here, which you may notice. So click the test button, and the button itself will now give you this helpful indicator whether the connection has succeeded or not. So if I go to a connection where I've got it, hit test, and I get this green checkbox. We've always had these information notifications to the side, but now we give one more helpful indication that your connection is successful and you can start querying. All right, well, there's one database I'm not going to be getting a green check mark for, and that's Greenplum. I just don't have any valid credentials. But if I did, I'd be very happy that Greenplum is now among the growing list of databases supported by Aginity's Data Insert Wizard. Get out of this screen here. If I go data upload and then data insert, I can choose a connection. And these are all the connections I have currently. But if I had a connection already to Greenplum, I'd see that in the list. That makes 6 major database platforms, which can now utilize our template-driven file-to-native SQL capabilities, which is DB2, Hive, Netezza, Postgres, Redshift, and now Greenplum. And even more database platforms are in the works. If you want a demo of this data insert wizard, it's pretty cool. Look at our version 34 update video, which I made a couple months ago. There's going to be a card linking to that video, but also in the video description. Check it out for a demo of our data insert wizard, which empowers analysts to insert up to 50,000 rows at a time into a new or existing table from an Excel or a CSV file. Lastly, it probably goes without saying, but our April-May 2021 release also includes a handful of bug fixes and application performance improvements. Well, until next time, query on.